And hello. Wait for a few people to get in here. Hey, John Rat's Welding Machine. Thanks for joining. The weather's kind of crazy all over the place, so don't expect a lot of viewers tonight. Not that I get a lot of viewers, but how was your weekend? Yeah, I've got a few more people popping in. There we go. It's pretty nice here too. It was in the almost 50, but it's blowing about 40 miles per hour out there. All the snow's gone, which I am happy with. Tomorrow it's supposed to be 62 or something. So that'd be nice. Thing is, we got 18 inches of snow and it melted in 2 days. So everything is a bog or a pond right now. Because the machines to go get, but they're all in barns or shops that you have to drive through dirt driveways. And everyone said, it's going to be a while before they're passable. One guy said you'd have to canoe out to his shop. So. Yeah, actually, walking through my grass. I left about 3/4 inch deep footprints through it. So the driveway's clear. I got the chip pan to the big lathe out there, so it was nice enough. I did some degreasing on that, so I can get it back in here. I spent a lot of the day looking at auctions. I went today and picked up some auction wins, just small stuff. It was a pretty good size auction ending Thursday. So I bid on some stuff. Mostly cutting tools. There's a TIG machine at the auction. I might go preview it tomorrow or something. I just worry about buying welders at auctions. least ones with digital displays and all that. So yeah, hi to everyone else who's joining. See, there's 6 of you in here now. Oh, don't got any specific topics tonight. Just I was kind of out of it this week. Was feeling a little under the weather, so I didn't put out many videos. Didn't get anything done on the lathe. I needed to, but I just didn't. I did clear this afternoon a path to pull it a little more forward, but I didn't get anything done that I needed to. I had some stuff I had to get done, some projects for customers, but I felt bad enough that after those, it was inside for the night. So I picked up a little horizontal saw. One was made by Foremost, so it's the exact same as the red Harbor Freight one, or the old green Harbor Freight one. Do some work on a motor for it. The auction I'm bidding on the stuff at is a retirement auction for a potato farmer, I believe. So there's a lot of nice stuff there, but there's going to be people there with deep pockets. So I'll hopefully come away, I'll scavenge some of the smaller lots. There's a big box of adjustable reamers, a big box of them. So I'll probably pay way too much for that. But if I get it, I'll be done with adjustable reamers for a long time. So, and there's drill bits and random stuff. There's no metalworking machines. They had a lot of welders and stuff like that. Some blacksmithing stuff, but no laser mills or anything like that. That big iron worker, that's at $12,000 right now. So I don't have a pony in that show. And still just waiting on, I don't know what the problem with USPS shipping is these last few weeks. I'm waiting on like 8 orders. Some of them, they're starting to trickle in now, which is good. But man, I had stuff I ordered a month ago that it's not updating where it is. And it's just languishing somewhere that's not here where I need it. Mostly that's the kit to make the 15 horsepower phase converter and the gear to put the head on the vertical milling machine. It's cheap enough. I almost ordered another one to see if it would get here faster than the first one I bought. So I'm going to get a bolt tomorrow. I'm probably going to take that little piece where the broken one was. I'm going to drill it and tap it and Loctite in a new bolt. I see where people were selling them online, but for just a little bit of effort, I'll just do that. I had a piece of all thread I could have used, but I don't really want to use a piece of all thread through there. So let's go to my bolt supplier and take it with me. I need to get one of those the longer nuts that are blind on one end that hold the head on. You know, the 4 nuts for the bolts. I do need one more of those. So temporarily, there's just going to be a bolt with some washers behind it. I need to go tomorrow and pick up a whole bunch of casters. Need about 20 casters to excuse me, to mobilize some stuff in the shop. Mostly the grinder, my disc sander, the Johnson drill press or bandsaw needs new casters. I went to lube them today. I jacked it up and they sag, so they're wore out. And sandblasting cabinet and a Camel Hill back drill press are all gonna get mobile. I briefly thought about putting the 100-ton press on wheels. I don't know. The thing is, it's so tall, it doesn't fit underneath the trusses in my shop with that safety cage thing I added to it. So it's kind of where it is. So not that it would be a super huge deal to mod. Yeah, it'd be a pain in the butt. Hey, Wiener. Yeah, I've heard about those stores. My area, we just have Harbor Freight. We don't have any of the Tractor Supplies or anything. So really, if you need, in my area, if you need anything besides, pulleys, belts, stuff like that, you have to go to either Grainger or one of the industrial suppliers. Our area is very lacking for stuff like that. I'm thinking about getting a hydraulic hose crimping setup here. That'd be handy. They're expensive. I think a basic setup from my Lawson rep was $3,000 for the machine, a couple of the pressing dies, and a very basic amount of hoses and fittings, mostly straight fittings and 90s and a few 45s. So I'm thinking about it, but I'm not that far from a hydraulic hose making place, and they treat me good. There as well. Yeah, I heard that. And through Lawson, they give me the machine too. Well, they lease it to me or whatever. And it would probably be cheaper to buy stuff from Gates or AC or Delco, and I forget the other one, Weatherhead. That's what I'm thinking, right? Because I do make a lot of I replace a lot of hydraulic hoses on commercial lawn mowers. So I'd be able to, sell some hoses. Plus, for me, it's one of those one more, 8 o'clock on Monday night, someone needs a hose, they can come to me and get a hose. That's the main reason I have all this stuff on hand. There's stuff back here that I only open once a year to get one clip or one O-ring out of. But having that reputation as in a pinch after hours, give them a call, that helps. If it was like 2,000, I could probably sell that a year. The good thing is I could push people for more complete hose replacements instead of one here, one there. I try to get people to replace, like on hydraulic cylinders, both hoses at once for each cylinder when they need one. I will give them a call. Because it actually freed up some bench space kind of for a hydraulic hose crimping setup. I'm kind of, I don't know if I've ever showed the workbench area. I mean, as a whole, I'm taking the two of the benches off the back wall and making this little L-shaped cubby so I can move some more machines back there. So the only stuff I have on my bench is 2 bench-mounted drill presses, the valve grinder, and I left room for either a hydraulic hose crimping setup. Because I have some of the, before I was going to get into it, I got some of the hydraulic pipe tubing racks from Lawson. So I do have some storage. That's kind of preemptively getting some stuff when my rep has bin fund. Yep. It's always nice to have good spares. It's nice to have well labeled spares. I do that with my commercial mower customers. I replace all the belts in the spring. We label all the old ones. It's really easy if you have 4 or 5 different mowers to forget where stuff goes. So I must be looking for a smaller plasma cutter than my big one. My big one it's overkill for most of what I do. It shocked me pretty good the other day again. So you need to get a whole new wand for it, or lead, or whatever you call it. I did find bags for the sandblasting cabinet. So that project, like I said, I'm going to go get like 20 casters this week, and one of the jobs is getting that thing mobile, and I'll do a video series on that. Carbide end mills, I don't have many carbide ones. And the place I get those and my normal end mills, oh, what's it called? The guy I bought the blonde from gave me their catalog. They're pretty cheap. I mean, they're good end mills. Oh, I can't think of it offhand. I will. It's been a while since I do one big bulk order, so I don't order from them like every month. I will look that up though, because actually I need some 1/2 inch and 3/4 end mills because I have misplaced some. I know I ordered them. I know I have them sitting over there by the thing, but I cannot find them. I have a few high speed cylinder mills yet. Not too many more. I got a bunch of free, not free, but they were in a toolbox in an auction lot. So I got like 100 of them between 1/4 inch and 1 inch. So I've just been burning through those. I don't do a lot of big flat surfaces, so most of my end mill use is I use them to cut keyways on the milling machine and stuff like that. But I don't have any CNC machines, and my my vertical mill's been down for a while, so I use my buddy's end mills. So that's why I haven't had to restock them in a while. Well, that's good to know as well. I do need, when I make the mounting plate for the tailstock, I was going to look at angled end mills to cut the groove in there. So I go to do that, I will let you know. See, I've got away without buying end mills for a while because I've just been using my buddies at his shop because I've been using his mill. So in exchange for doing some jobs for him. So yeah, with that, a lot of tapered or adjustable reamers, I'm hopefully going to win at the auction. With that big tray I got with the other lathe, I should be covered for reamers for quite a while. I'm sure I'll pay way too much for them, or more than I want to pay for them, but it'd be nice to have them be done. I get more use out of adjustable ones than standard reamers because I do a lot of field fitting for, stuff like that. I don't do production runs where I need to make 100 1-inch, spot on holes. What do you use to make your flat belting out of? I have a surplus of flat belting material that came with a couple of the machines. I don't know if it's leather. I think it is. I have bought some for the Camelback drill press off eBay. And you can get the clips and everything off there too. I've never ordered it from like an actual supplier because I've ordered very short quantities. I don't have any stuff belted to the ceiling or anything where I need 16 feet of it or anything like that. So eBay, you can find it on eBay. I forget the name of the company. They sell it and it has kind of a rubbery coating on it. I've never used it myself. That would be probably the first place to look. Yeah, I've got quite a few oversized, undersized reamers that were obviously sharpened. So, but not a lot of oversized. I've just a few. I have a 1-inch one. That's 1 thou and that's 3 thou that were a very specific job. And I'll do a video HSW Railway on flat belting soon. And on that, do you know how wide your belt is on your lathe? If it's like a lot of the Logans and all that stuff, I think it was 1 inch. A lot of it's 1 inch. If you can get your spindle, you can always, you can get your spindle out. A automotive serpentine belt turned inside out works very well as a replacement for that. You have to put just a little bit more tension on it with your pulley setup. That's one way to go if you can't find the actual belting. And a lot of people like to use the belting because they like the looks of it on the machine, and I completely understand that. But that's one option if you can't find flat belting, if you just want to get your machine going. But obviously you can't cut it, so you have to be able to remove the spindle out of the headstock to get the serpentine belt on there. And I might have some 1-inch belting. If you let me know how much you need. I have some over there. I don't remember what size it is. I have a couple different sizes. But I had a Atlas lathe way back, and I put a serpentine belt on it from a car. It worked good. The bummer was having to take the spindle out. So I don't know if you use a flat belt splicing kit on a rubber serpentine belt, so I don't know if I would try that. Oh, it's been off already. Are you restoring the machine? Or just changing the bearings? What make of machine is it? I always like to hear about other people's machines. I do not have a 3D printer. I have looked at them. There's a kit that you assemble yourself. It's a really cheap kit on Amazon. I haven't looked into it much. I can see where they're handy. I think they're really cool. Again, I'm not a computer person, so I don't know about making stuff in like CAD and stuff like that. I'm sure I could figure it out. Or I know you can download stuff. Because I saw where someone had 3D printed a wall thing to mount their quick change tool posts, tool holders for. That'd be cool. That'd be handy. But to get into any kind of 3D printer stuff or CNC stuff, I would have to learn computers. And even though I'm not old, I'm in my late 30s, I was never around computers, so I'm not that literate with them. But I'm sure I could research it and figure it out. It would be cool for doing test pieces for some stuff. Is Zyto? Never heard of them. Oh, 1900. That's an old lathe. I've had 2 lathes from that era. I like the old flat belt machines. I used to have a lot of them. Well, not a lot. I had more than your average person had of flat belt machines. Some expensive parts using their farm equipment. Yeah, I can see where they'd be handy. And then I know people, they need a part, they'll look at like a parts catalog and you can get the dimensions for what you need and make the part you're about to order. And if we're making parts to test fit. Yeah, that would be. What's something I might get into. Be nice to also print parts out for mock-up on other things. Someone told me you can make pretty nice motor tags with a 3D plastic printer. If you scale them up or do something with them, you can paint them and look like metal. I got a buddy who has a Delta drill press like mine, and he 3D printed the full belt cover for it out of plastic. It looks nice. Yeah, that'd be same with that CNC mill that my buddy has. From the Geo 706 Grizzly mill. He uses that thing all the time, and his computer setup's pretty. It's only this big. He uses that milling machine all the time. Because I like to be able to make replacement parts. So, especially for older machines. I wouldn't mind getting a CNC plasma table. I don't know where I would put it. Well, once the big lathe is out of the way, the shop will open back up. I would get a lot of use out of that, and I could make some money with that because I have an idea if I get one. But again, they show at auctions quite a bit, plasma tables. But I don't know about buying used computery stuff like that. So I wouldn't need a big one, a 4 foot by 4 foot, or even I probably want to go 6 foot by 6 foot. Would be plenty for what I have in the old noggin for one. I know you can build them, but I cannot build them. I don't know again, if there's a parts list someone had, make X size table by this kit, I could do that. If I could hook up my big plasma cutter to it, that diesel shop I make those I drill and tap those adapters for, he has someone plasma cut them out and then they come to me. So if I could get the plasma table, I'd be the one-stop shop. I could cut the things and then drill and tap them. It is really, really windy outside. I don't know if it's coming through the camera, but it's blowing like 40, 45 miles an hour out there. So yeah, this week is the week of getting things mobile. Go get a bunch of casters and angle iron, make some stands. If the roads dry out or the people's yards do, I'm going to get all the rest of those machines from the guy I got the big lathe and the surface grinder from. I'm going to try to get all of those, maybe not next weekend or this coming weekend because I have my kids, but maybe the weekend after. It'll all be quick to load, so we'll see. I might take the kids with me. I'm going to get everything mobile so I can move the big guy back there. Which means I also have to finish putting it together. So I did run the motor on it today temporarily. The motor runs fine. It has a 7.5 horse, 50 hertz motor, so you actually gain a little, probably getting 8.25 horsepower out of it at 60 hertz. And I ran it with the cover off because I wanted to see when it was running how the oil was going through the drip thing for the spindle bearings. So I put a sheet of plexiglass over the front of it, and it was instantly covered, so I could barely see anything. But good oil, displacement amongst all the gears in there. So I need to drain it and fill it after I install the new sight glasses. Because excuse me for just 1 second, the wind is blowing one of my doors. So I'll be right back. Okay. That's actually the sound of my garbage can blowing over. So I have a fun job after the live stream today. Again, saying, I don't know if you guys have had problems getting stuff through the mail these last couple weeks. I ordered like 15 things like 3 weeks ago, and I've gotten 5 of them. And they're all small packages. So, excuse me. I'm waiting for the gear for the vertical milling machine with the head on there. The 2 sets of bearings for the Delta DP220 project. I'm actually waiting for like 30 bearings from that. VFD, a 3-horse VFD for the milling machine, the horizontal milling machine. And just a bunch of stuff. And just nothing's updating and everything's just taking forever. So that has held up a couple projects. So I should have just went to Grainger and got all the bearings. The gears for the Hypermac, they sent me with the wrong ones. So I'm dealing with that. I actually found 2 original gears for it, and I might just get those. I don't know. They're expensive. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, there's just some packages out. And I've shipped 6 packages. And one of them was on a pallet, so it was a little heavier. But the rest of them were in flat rate boxes. And 2 people haven't received them yet. One of them was in it for a trade. So it's always a lot of fun when you trade someone something and you get theirs shows up and yours doesn't. Like, sorry, there's a tracking number. So, yeah, now I'm feeling better. It'll be a more productive week. I had some commercial mowers I had to get done, and with so much snow, getting stuff into the shop from the driveway was a pain. Getting them done, I was just dead after doing that stuff. Because I was still sick and I was still working 15-hour days. So that's why I didn't put out some videos. But this week's pretty clear. But yeah, this week I've got to get the big milling machine, the big lathe out of the way. So tonight, after the live stream, which I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter tonight, it's still on its bogies. So I need to scoot it about 10 feet forward. So I get the cherry picker around the headstock to put the rest of the stuff on because I'm really trying to watch my back. I need to start watching my back. I need to keep enough room in the shop to use the cherry picker, the gantry crane, or the hydraulic lift cart. So I got the transformer still on the cart. I'm going to take that off today and set it on the floor. The 240 to 480 volt transformer. And then clear paths for the rest of it. I should shorten this gantry crane to make it a little more shop friendly. It's handy for pulling a truck. It's wide enough now that a truck or a flatbed trailer can back between it past the fenders. So it's handy for that. But in the shop, that extra length is not a positive thing. So, and then the one out in the driveway, we need to make wider because it won't go through the fenders. So I believe my uncle's going to bring some metal and stuff, and we're going to widen it and do some other stuff to it. Because if I can't bring it into the shop, I might as well have it be as big as possible. The neighbors don't care it's out there, so. If the city had let me put in my bridge crane, it wouldn't be an issue. So. But the jib crane project, that's going to be starting here soon. I've been collecting concrete from work in a pile. I think I'm going to make the base 8 yards. I want to lift 2 ton at the end of the arm. And I want a 15-foot arm, maybe. I got to do a bunch of math and talk to some engineers, probably our engineer from work. I'd like to have the arm 15 foot and be able to lift 2 tons at the end of it. So I'm going to make the frame, put it in the ground, and use a combination of busted up concrete and new concrete to make the footing. I'd originally planned on 10 yards of concrete, so we'll see. I can dig a bigger hole. Because that'll be handy. It's going to be a swinging jib crane. It'll swing 180 degrees lined up with my shop door. So it'll be a little bit away from the building. It'll be a freestanding I-beam. I think it's a 8-inch I-beam. I also have access to a piece of 6-inch Schedule 80 steel pipe that I could get really cheap. Might make that. I have to look at that project now that the weather's getting better. And dig a big old hole in my driveway. Because I did get permission to build that from the city. And I'll paint it the same color as my house. I'm going to paint the bottom of the jib crane the same color as the bottom half. I'm going to go across the street to the neighbor's house. And I'll look at it. And wherever the line is for the bottom color, I'll paint that. And then above that, I'll paint the upper color. So it'll kind of blend in. So yeah, what kind of projects you guys got going on this week? Hopefully, if you guys are in areas of bad weather, the weather starts improving for you. Figured we'd have less people in here due to that because there's some pretty crazy, really bad weather going on right now in other parts of the country. My guns, I used to have a lot. I sold them all long ago. I think the only one I have now is I have a Mosin. I think it's M35, the shorter one with the bayonet on it. I think it's the only one I've left. I never got into gunsmithing or anything like that. I've had lots of people ask me to machine, blowers and stuff like that, but I've never got into any of that. I used to do some black powder shooting too long ago. Yeah, mine was $55 in a bin at a Big Five Sporting Goods way, way back. Back when we used to have a lot of the random, like 8mm Mausers and stuff for sale for dirt cheap. Yeah, which is crazy for what they are. How plentiful they were not terribly long ago. Yeah, it's only my Mosin's the only one I have right now. Oh yeah, SKS used to be really cheap. Well, actually, a long time ago, Mini 14s weren't bad, but now, I had a Garand that was. I think I paid $100 for it. The barrel was worn. The thing was a scatter gun, but it's cool. It's crazy what all that stuff goes for now. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yep, I'm in Washington State, yeah. I'm on the east side of the state. So we do, unfortunately, most of the laws and stuff are based off the west side of the state. It's two completely different areas. You have to start going that side of the state more because the machines in the area are pretty much dried up. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Some of the laws they pass. I mean, I understand some of them, but oh, I had a question for you, Earthwhile, about those. What was it? The end mills that take the inserts. I don't remember what the question was. I will try to remember it before the end of this. I don't know what it was. Oh, how have you been liking your grizzly lathes still? Because I have a friend who's looking at, I believe, is pretty much the same one you got, and he's just using it for home shop use, just random projects and stuff. Oh, hey, oh, cool. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't want to mess with old lathes. anything like that. He just wants to buy something new, have it shipped to his house. So he has the money to do so. So he's been looking at a lot of the Grizzly Lays. DRO, yeah. I've actually got a DRO in a box. I don't know how long this stuff. It came off a lathe. I don't know if I'm going to mount it to a lathe. I don't even know if it's all there. It has the glass scales. I thought about putting it maybe on the Hypromac. Might get it going. But I've never used it. Well, my buddy's milling machine has a DRO on it. But none of the machines I've ever owned have had one. I made a crude, you couldn't call it a DRO, but on my tailstock on previous lathe, I made a clamp for the, I don't even know, the thing that comes out of tailstock holds the bit, the quill. I made a quill one out of a long caliper. That was handy for the job I was using it for. Yeah, they are. I need to look at some of the kits to put one, because when I get the vertical milling machine going, I am going to get that riser plate. It's I don't know if it's a 12-inch or a 10-inch, I think it is, but a riser for it, riser block. I would like to go ahead and put a DRO on the vertical milling machine. So horizontal one, I probably well, if I can find some cheap. Again, I probably need to go through that one I have and see if it even works. Came in a box. Hey, Kentucky Trapper. I'm not sure how much a basic, very cheap DRO even is. I mean, are they $500? Are they $1,000? Because my buddy's shop, he has some I think he bought from Grizzly. And they're the programmable one. You can do bolt circles and all that kind of stuff with. Yeah, DRO Pros. I think that's the one I have in the box came from. I'd really like to have one on the vertical milling machine. And maybe on one of the lathes. Yeah, it must have been good. If I'm going to order one, I'm not going to order one, off a site like that. Or I like to, a known one that I've seen people use. And it would be nice. The Camelback drill press had a DRO on it, a single reader. It came off the top shaft when I went to look at it, but I didn't buy it. He wanted a couple $100 for it extra. Yeah, and I don't need like a super fancy one. I wouldn't do like the program, the tool links, and all that other stuff. And for what I do, I wouldn't need it to. I know some of them have a memory function where you can store like 100 different tools, and you know, boring heads, tool 3, and all that stuff. So if I could just do basic things with it, that's all I need it to do. And if I get a bigger machine, yeah. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of features to them that, I mean, I can see maybe in a larger shop they use, but if I get a bigger vertical machine, I'll definitely go all out with the power drawbar and do all that other stuff. I could do that with mine too. My milling machine isn't very tall, so it doesn't bother me to put the wrench up there. Of course, when it comes to stuff like that, stuff's working. I know I can make it better, but I have so much other stuff going on. I even I have a butterfly air thing for making a automatic drawbar thing for the mill. I'm not sure where it's at now, but I'll probably take that DRO out and plug it in, see if it even comes on. I don't honestly know if I've ever plugged it in. I bought a pallet of, what was it? Pallet of wall-mounted service switches, and it was in a cardboard box mixed in with there. Yeah, my old Cincinnati mill was about that weight, but it suffered a very catastrophic gearbox failure, and it was not worth fixing. So I got rid of that machine a while ago. Yeah, CNC stuff. Again, I've looked at that mill. There's actually a CNC. Oh, what was it? Mill for selling Craigslist not too long ago for $4,000. But again, not knowing stuff about them, the age of them, or the software stuff, I should probably look into it more. Because again, I'd like to be able to make repair parts for people's machines. I don't do a lot of drilling with my mill. I have a lot of other drill presses. I do a lot of drilling. I've had people comment on, because I have 4 drill presses right now. I got the big Camelback, the Walker Turner, and the 2 bench ones. And has people comment about why I have so many. First of all, I like drill presses. It's just one of those things that is like them. But I do a lot of drilling. I do those adapter plates for that guy, and then a lot of people bring in used pump bases and stuff, and we reconfigure them a lot. Yeah, and I wouldn't use a CNC for stuff like that. It'd be for making a taking the time to figure out how to do it and make specific replacement parts and doing a parts batch of a certain gear or a certain handle for a machine, or just stuffing for, because I'd like to start getting stuff, buying trashed out machines and stripping all the parts out of them to help people fix their stuff. So I'd use it for stuff like that. Certain bushings and stuff like that. I could crank out. If I could make one, it'd be faster if I could type something in there and make it all do its thing and have like 10 of them and have some on stock. The 4 drill presses. I would, whenever a floor one comes up cheap, I always buy it. I've given a lot of them away. Or like the Craftsman one, I restored it and gave it away to a friend of mine. They take up so little room. I use the Walker Turner just has a chamfering bit in it, and that's 99% of its life. Is I put something in there, and it has one of those big Uniflute, not the Uniflute, but the chamfering bits that have the hole in them, and that's all it does. 99% of the time is deburrs holes, and it's handy for that and quick for that. If I get all 4 heads working on the 4-head drill press, I'll have 8 drill presses. Now, with your CNC mill, are you set up to cut gears? Namely, metric gears. So you have a need for that. I'm going to get this big lathe out, put back together, and put out of the way. No, just spur gear. Just straight gear. Yeah, just normal. Yeah, I got to get this big lathe out of the way. Get some stuff moved for the other machines that are coming in soon. Also, I got some stuff I need to really move. I'm not going to get rid of any more machines, so the ones I have, I'm going to find. It's going to get tight in here. There's going to be some interesting placements of some stuff. Okay, cool. I have 2 metric gears I need cut. With just the inside bore is arbitrary for the most part, because you got to make the shaft they go on. I mean, I have that part. So if you could email me your contact info, I'll message you afterwards or in the next few days and let you know what I have going on. Yeah, hopefully my stuff in the mail will start showing up this week so I can get some of these projects done. I've got the head for the motor for the Acer head at the motor shop right now, getting rewound. So my email is, let me type it into this thing. Where's the @ sign on this thing? Is that it? Yep, there we go. So yeah, this week there'll be at least 2 videos on the mill or the lathe, the big reed, getting the carriage and the apron on it and all that stuff. So we can get it mobile and get it to the back of the shop. Needs to go back there. Okay, cool. Thank you, Earthwell. Yeah, I'll let you know what I have and send you some pictures, and hopefully we can get something figured out. Yeah, I ordered, I've shown you guys this part a million times. The headstock bearing for the DP220s. I have 20 of the outer bearings coming. And then I'll show you the sleeve modification I'm going to do when I get them in. And then the smaller bearings, the actual quill bearings, I have only 6 of those. I just need to keep some in stock. But I'll show you how to modify those. You don't barely have to modify a normal bearing to use it, as long as you don't use the quick spindle setup for your drill press. Because it came with a whole bunch of different spindles you could put in there through the quill. I'll show you guys how to essentially make a replacement for this instead. These go sometimes for like $80. I mean, you could buy DP220 drill presses and park them out for much more than you pay for them. But the fix I have for them, you can do it for, I think, $18. So I'm excited to do that. I get a lot of questions about that bearing. I also got a gas-powered air compressor I need to get going to put in my service truck. So I'm going to do a video on that. And I got to go pick up my old gas-powered welder and do... I have a Kohler 25-horse motor over there. I need to adapt to it. Because it has an old Wisconsin motor, and the motor's full of water. It's been like that since I've got it. Get that guy going. That'd be a neat machine. And the VFD for the welding position is still not in yet. I ordered that thing like 5 weeks ago from it's a Tico. But to be fair, I just got the shipping notification for it Friday. So yeah, shipping's been awful. Awful. I think I have 10 packages out that are over 2 weeks. And some of them are over 3 weeks. Whenever I did the video for that gear I need for the tilt on the vertical milling machine, I ordered that part the next day. That's been like 3 weeks. That was from eBay. I've got my normal mail, but no packages. One package went to the city next over for a day, and then went back to the distribution center, and that's where it is. It's been there for 3 days. And they're not very... I know they have a job to do, and they're doing it as best they can, but they're not really helpful when you call them. So, and I can understand them being able to track a specific thing, but... I got a notification from the stuff I'm getting outbid on at that auction Thursday. All right, clicking emails there. Matico, I've never heard of them. I'll put that. I can note of that. I have a place in my notes where you guys give me things to look at and I check them out later. Are they like a parts dealer or parts and cutting tools? Okay, Kentucky Trapper, and still trying to find the best way to get that motor. It's what's that motor already? It's so heavy. My plan was to, and I don't know if I've done this before, is I've shipped the rotor separate of the motor, and I can understand why that's not a thing. But if we can't find a way to ship that without it costing a lot, because the quote I got the other day was a lot. You can come up with a dollar amount you want for your tooling. I'd gladly buy it off you too. And pay for the shipping, of course. So. I still got one more avenue I'm pursuing this week. So. I didn't think the motor was that heavy until I went to move it. I tried to go flat rate, but it's some number of pounds past their heaviest. Yeah. They topped out at 100 and I want to say 120 pounds or something like that. Yeah, it was over the 70s. I was like, and I shipped it was a 10 horse motor. I shipped it to a guy flat rate. I took the end bells and the rotor out of it and shipped that in one. And I didn't like just, it'd be my luck. Only half of it would show up. I shipped them the rotor in one package and the housing in the other package. And they didn't show up the same day, which scared me. I was like, uh-oh. Yeah, once you get around 150 pounds, it's a whole different shipping world out there. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm looking at, Kentucky Trapper. I'll get it figured out. I meant to do more of that this week, but I just was not feeling good. I didn't feel good till after the live stream last Sunday. I didn't feel good until Thursday, whenever I put out that cleaning the headstock video. So I'm behind on a few things. So I got like 10 people that need their drum switches wired, and I gotta go after the live stream tonight. I gotta go get their pictures taken of their wiring setups and stuff like that. Plus, I gotta find we gotta move enough to get the lathe out of the way so I can get the cherry picker behind it. I took the quick change gearbox off the reed the other day because I told you I forgot to put that set screw in there. I took it off. I found the set screw, and it drives the lead screw. Got the set screw set on top of it. Got a phone call about some machines. Talked to the guy about some lathe and a bandsaw. Bolted the quick change gearbox back on. Forgot to put the set screw in it. So I'm going to take it back off tomorrow. This will be for the last time, hopefully. And the thing that is when I was setting it back up there, the set screw almost rolled off, so I grabbed it and set it off to the side, and then bolted it up, and I was looking at it, I was like, so, I'm now pretty good at taking it on and off, though. So I also ordered my paint came in, so I can paint the base of it. It's not an exact match with the quick change gearbox and some of the parts the guy had already painted, but that doesn't bother me. It'll still look pretty. As you know, I'm not big on painting and cleaning of stuff. Even when I restore stuff, I don't go overboard on the surfaces that are just going to be used and get dirty again. I clean everything up. The Reed Prentice isn't going to the Smithsonian. It's going to be a work machine. I do want to get, all the old grime and stuff like that off of it. So it's clean enough that there's all the oils off it, so I can paint it. So that'll be fine. Put a couple really thick coats of dark machinery gray. I thought about when I was painting my machines, because they're going to paint the horizontal milling machine. I was thinking about a different color to paint all the machines in the shop, but yeah, that weight will add up. But yeah, if it's in a couple packages, again, I don't mind paying for a couple different packages. Nope, paint doesn't make them run any bit better. All the ways and stuff are all clean and spotless, and it'll be clean and painted. It will look good to people driving down the road at 25 miles an hour. Again, I like to clean them up so they look nice. Hello, Earl Ledoux. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully, when my kids get older, I'll give them, hey, I'll give you $50 if you wire wheel that machine down to bare metal and then paint it for me. So, still a little young for that. See you, Kentucky Trapper. Thanks for joining us. I will email you early this week when I talk to my other shipping guy about that motor. So I will 100% get that done. Yeah, if roads dry up, I can go get those. I have 2 batches of machines to get. One is about an hour away. Same guy got the 22-inch Reed from. There's a cylinder honing machine, 3 cylinder honing machines, maybe a horizontal bandsaw, a pipe threader, the extender for the vertical milling machine, and I think that's it. And then there's a guy about 4 hours away in Idaho that has a Logan turret lathe, a big 2-wheel vertical bandsaw, a big long wood lathe, a post leg vise, some woodworking vices, which I'm not interested in, but I'll take. I forget what the other thing was. And that's all for $500. Then he has a metal brake for $1,400 or $1,600. It's good size. I do need a metal brake for a project, but those are all waiting for the roads to get better because I have to drive off the road through dirt and gravel to get to where the machines are at. And everything is a big bog right now. So I might try to go next weekend and get the cylinder machines and stuff like that, and the riser for the mill. Because what I kind of want to do with the vertical milling machine when I get the gear is I want to pull it out and do everything. Put the riser block in it, get the head mounted, and just knock it out. Because also it's going to move from its current location anyway. So, and I might put it on casters. I might make a base and put the vertical milling machine on casters. Haven't decided yet. Some people don't mind them on casters. Some people balk at it. We'll see. The horizontal one won't go on casters. I have a spot for it in the shop. So. Excuse me. So yeah, what are you guys up to? I ask you, the people, what are you guys up to this week? Any fun projects? Any machines you're working on? Weather permitting, of course, depending where some of you are. It's bad out there in some places. I got mostly stuff to move. I'm going to be, it's supposed to be over 60 tomorrow. Farmers are going to start getting stuff out to do their checks on their machines. And that's when I get a lot of my calls. So I need to get, I figure I have 2 weeks left. Let's see, what's it? 20th. I got probably 3 weeks left before my shop needs to be ready to go. As far as ready, to have jobs come in and stuff like that. And not have to move a million things to get the machines. Hey, Doug. The only thing I have left on the gantry crane project is to put and it's sitting right here. If you're talking about the one I lowered or made raisable. Yeah, that's the only thing I have left is to put the hydraulic cylinders on it. You can actually see one of them right there. And that will be this week. Because I need to get those hydraulic cylinders moved. And I need this to go higher for a machine I'm going to be bringing in here. So yeah, you will 100% see that video this week of the installation of the hydraulic cylinders on it. That's another thing that's been on my checklist to do. And I need that feature on this now. Because with the roller and my chain hoist, it's too short for unloading from a trailer. And when I get all those other machines in this next weekend, I want to use this to do that. So yeah, they're out. I have the steel to mount them, and I have the bolts to go through them. So yeah, we'll get that done. Also, why I need it is when I push it out into, a lot of people didn't understand why I needed to raise it like I did too. My driveway is very slanted, not like dramatically, but it is slanted enough. When I unload stuff, I can lock the casters and I can use the jacks to level. That way the trolley doesn't launch to one end when something's up on there. So that was part of it. And then just to make it taller, because it needs to be taller to do the stuff outside I needed to. So yep, we'll get that then. And thank you for checking out the project. It is most appreciated. And for that, Harbor Freight used to sell the cylinders that had the 4 bolts holes already in them, and they had a different mounting. They don't sell those anymore. It'd be a million times easier to use those. These ones, I'm going to have to actually weld a box that it sits in. But it'll also, I don't know how much of it you can see here. See, the bar is missing right there. So when I'm lifting stuff with this, and I lifted the LeBlanc lathe entirely with this gantry crane, so all the weight that's coming down is going through the 2 A-arms, if you will. So there's nothing going straight down right now, which I don't like, and I've been wary of it. So putting the cylinders in would just add that much more support too. So I need to do that. There's also a few welds that I got with it I need to redo. That I'm going to paint it, and maybe we'll see. I don't know if I'll go that far. I do need to do that this week, so because I'm going to be using it around the shop to move a bunch of stuff. It also won't currently go high enough to lift the heads on the 4-head drill press. I don't know if it will, even when those things are on there. So we'll see. Okay, guys, we'll give it about another 10 or so minutes. I got some work to do in the shop. Gained another 12 or so subscribers this week. Very cool. Very cool. If any of you watching are new subscribers, thank you for checking it out and hanging out with me in my shop. I know this time of year and this winter hasn't been the best for actually machining projects and welding projects and stuff like that, but with the change in machinery that I had and the changing of my power setup and all of that, I had to take the time off that I did to get everything going, or else it was going to be one of those recurring, constantly moving stuff all year long. I'm pretty slow in the winter anyway, but some of the jobs I held off on to just have the time to go through the machines, to get them going. That way there's no problem once the year takes over. Because if you think about it, I've replaced every lathe in the last 3 months. I won't have any of the lathes I had last season. The LeBlanc's gone. The Tita's gone. So we have all new lathes. We have a new milling machine. We'll have the other milling machine going. We have the surface grinder now. So it was just a lot of change in the shop. So I haven't been able to do the lathe projects and stuff that you guys, I'm sure, would like to see more than a lot of the stuff I do, and I apologize for that. But I'm getting the shop to where it's good to go. Anything can come in. All the machines are ready to go. Everything is where I can put my hands on it real quick, not have to think it's over there. I had to do it how I'm doing it. So I thank you guys for coming along and checking out the videos. And it's been a cool milestone. I look at the average views for the last, I think it's 24 hours or 48, and it's been around 1,000. I think that's super awesome. I'm approaching 600 subscribers, which I think is super awesome. I like to think my videos are entertaining and at least you learn something every once in a while. But it's real shop, daily work in the shop stuff too. So part of the everyday stuff you do to run a small machine shop. in repair shop and job shop, and there's a lot of little things that the bigger channels gloss over. You guys watch me work on machines, and things don't always turn out right on the machines, and working with the stuff I have, finding the stuff I have. So I like to think that's part of what makes my channel a little interesting, is I'm the every person. It's your average Joe going at it. I'm currently running everything off of a homemade phase converter. I'll be upsizing it in 2 weeks. But I use a rotary phase converter because I have so many different horse-powered machines that it wasn't viable for me to get VFDs for everything. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 3-phase machines in my shop, and only 2 of them have matching size motors. So, and when I do updo that, upsize my phase converter, which hopefully will be later next week, that'll be a couple part video. I'm going to show you everything I do. It's a kit. It's like $135. It was all the switches, capacitors, everything. All you need is an enclosure and the motor. It doesn't include that. That's how we'll be powering everything from now on. Except for I did order a VFD for the horizontal milling machine to sort out how I'm going to power it a little bit better than that truck transmission. I wanted a little more control. So yep, that's how I power everything. Hold on, I need to change my... Actually, my computer's about to die because I didn't have it plugged in. So we're going to... I think we're going to call it for today, guys. I'd like to thank everyone for joining and checking out the video. I'd like to thank everyone for subscribing, liking the videos, leaving a comment. I love the comments. I try to respond to every single person who comments to me, and I will continue to do that. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope the weather gets better if you guys are in a place being adversely affected by that. This is Adam from Small Town Machine Shop. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you later.